At the moment, like, we know a certain amount of information. There's new information still constantly coming out, so it's really hard for me to make to have an informed opinion at the moment without all of the information, which is, like you said, why it's really good for me to sit back and kind of watch. I think it's kind of good timing. I definitely was ready to take a little break anyway, and now I get to sit and see how this all kind of goes. It'll be different. I don't know how different, and then I think it will be different again by next year, because there's going to be a lot of things that you find out for the first time this year, and the athletes are going to sort of make a lot of choices. I think a lot of people are going to have to make the choice whether they really want to do this or they don't want to do this, because it looks different now, and the requirements are different now. They might have to travel more or whatever it may be. So once they kind of figure out, everyone participating this year, once they figure that out, and the sponsors and everyone associated with it figure out where they fit into it, that's then going to change again next year. So I don't know. At the moment, I'm just going to keep an eye on it and understand that I love what I do. I love being on the competition floor. Whether, I'm competitive, but I just love what I do. I love my sport. I love moving. It's just, it's what I'm good at and what I enjoy. So I'll just be there. Hopefully I'll just be there, and I don't know what it'll look like, but yeah, we'll see.
And is it kind of a goal of, let's give it one more go, or do you see your career spanning for another 5-10 years?
Yeah, I look at this almost as just like it was a little pause, like a little holiday. I was mentally and physically pretty cooked from being so committed for so long. I've been going to the games for 7 years and with no intention other than to win, so I was really 100% in mentally and physically. And that's tiring. So I just need a little bit of a break. And then, we plan on waiting a couple of years before we have another baby.
Scotty?
Yeah, another little Scotty. Maybe a little boy Scotty. Who knows? Like Scotty 2.0. Two crazy little girls. Who knows? But yeah, we plan on waiting a couple of years for that so that we can enjoy her as a person and enjoy our lives and not sort of like overdo it and just kind of, enjoy the process. So I would like to compete for a couple more years and then potentially after that have a second one, and then maybe stop or change my role a little bit in the sport or whatever I do. But yeah, I'd like to hang around for a couple more years. That'd be nice if I can, if I'm good enough.
Speaking of changing your role obviously changes with your sponsors, and there's been a lot of talk about that at the moment with pregnancy and sponsors. How have your sponsors been throughout this time?
Yeah, look, I've had pretty much all of them support me through the entire time, and the ones that I still have associated with me, you can see very clearly on my socials and stuff like that. Bar a couple of, I did some reshuffling, but like my coaches and my nutrition company and stuff, they are all good too. They're just not on there. But they've all been really good. They've all supported me throughout the process. Obviously, what I could do throughout the process was a little bit different being pregnant. I couldn't represent a brand at the same capacity, but I didn't have anything affected in that process. It just was what it was. It's no different really taking one season off than if I had have hurt myself in training and I had to go and get a shoulder reconstruction, which heaps of athletes have done. I've never done. I've never taken that moment. I've been there consistently. And so yeah, they've supported me throughout the time. And then, who chose not to is just kind of like not there anymore and won't be included, and I move on because the people that are there are good, which I was very lucky for, and I think that's fair. And I did make a comment, I think a woman should be entitled to take that time. It's not a long period of time, and it's no different than an injury, and it shifts the role. And we had conversations, like my sponsors had conversations with me, like, what are your plans? They say, what are your plans moving forward? What does this look like? How can we change things? Or like, how does this relationship work for all of us? And we just had that conversation. I personally called every single one of my sponsors before I announced, and I had that conversation with them first before I announced everything and talked about it. And I think you need to do that. And then obviously if it goes further than that, and like any job, if you then decide to have another 12 months off after your maternity leave, you have to understand if you don't work, then it's going to look a little different. If I worked a 9 to 5 in an office and I want to take an extra 12 months, I'm not going to get paid for that because I'm not working anymore. So, and you just have to be realistic with those too. But then as soon as I was back on board, actually this week I've kind of started just being a little bit normal and being involved with my sponsors and brands a little bit more, and reigniting those relationships that have kind of been just lulling while I've been pregnant. But yeah, I'm lucky.
You've got an affiliate.
Yes.
Lots of little side hustles going on. What's next for you and the family and the business?
Yeah, there's actually so many little things going on at the moment. Like, obviously, the gym, we had a lot of change with that. And now I'm actually really able to sink my teeth into that, which is really, really good. And build Cova and build that brand. And then my own brand. And I've got a really exciting little side project, little hustle going on that's coming soon that is definitely going to shake up a certain performance piece.
Any
And
details or?
no, I'll keep that kind of quiet for the minute, and it won't be too long before everyone knows what I'm working on.